G'day everyone and welcome to my NBA 2024 season predictions. The season has started, 2 games are down, lots of games to go, and I have predicted every single game of the season. It took me 4 days to do it, so it did take some work. Here's my predictions for the East and the West, as well as the NBA final, as well as, those special awards that players do seem to get at the end of the year. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into NBA predictions. So we will start from the bottom, and in the 15 seed in the West, I do have the Houston Rockets. I think there is room for improvement, but I don't think they're going to be as good as a lot of the teams above them this year. I can see them being higher. I can see them being like a 12 seed, but I'm going to put them 15 for now. 14, I've got the Blazers. This is a team that's in a bit of trouble. Really need to get some nice acquisitions over the coming years. Otherwise, they aren't going to be great for a few years. And they've lost a lot over the years. 14, I've got Portland. 13 position, I've got the Jazz. Now, the Jazz started really red hot last season and then fell off towards the back half of the year. I think it'd be a similar situation where they'll be okay, but they will struggle late on as well. 12 seed, interesting one. I've got the Kings because I think the Kings can click and they've really acquired well over this trade period. But again, I think there's teams above them that are going to be tough to beat. I actually think the Kings could be a 10 seed. I feel like they could be a team that makes that play-in sort of tournament, but I've got them just outside it in 12th position because not everyone can be there. In 11th position, I've got the New Orleans Pelicans. I think they're in for a pretty good year. I think they go to the play-in tournament. There's not much to say here for the Pels. I mean, it's the same sort of stuff every year, and I don't expect it to get too much better. In 10th position, massive improvers. I've got the San Antonio Spurs. Now, Victor Wembanyama is an absolute freak. We've seen that. But now they get Chris Paul as well, the assist king. He's going to want to win a championship, getting to his last years of his career. It doesn't look like he's going to win one. But hey, he might win a play-in tournament. As the Spurs, for mine, I've got them in 10th. 9th, I've got the Memphis Grizzlies. This team missed Ja Morant a lot last year. Hopefully this year they can stay healthy and Ja can be there because I think they are a lot more dangerous. I can see them being about a 7 seed. I don't see them being higher than 7th, but I have got them in 9th right now. In 8th, I've got the Warriors. I don't think the Warriors are a top 6 sort of seed team that some people are expecting them to be. I think they'll be in 8th position. And I think it will be a good season, and I'll get to it. I think there's a certain player that will really, really step up this year in some of the absence that they've had. 7th position, I've got the Clippers. Now, they open up a brand new stadium. I will actually be at Intuit Dome later in the year. Really looking forward to going to that. As for the Clippers, lots of injuries. Paul George gone. How are they going to go? I just don't know. I think they start the season really, really well. But overall, I think they start to drop off and finish in the 7th seed. Next up in 6th seed, big drop here. I've actually got the Minnesota Timberwolves. A fantastic season last year. And now they are, how are they going to go without Karl Anthony Towns? But they've acquired nicely throughout the trade period. Julius Randle. I've got question marks, but I could see them being higher. But right now, I am going to put the Wolves in the 6th seed. 5th, I've got the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I think that, it's annoying because I was going to say this before the game yesterday, but I think the Lakers have some players like Rui Hachimura who are starting to come into their best sort of time, and that's why the Lakers are kind of underrated this year. This is my team, so I guess this is partly biased, but look, this isn't a Bronny James sort of thing. This isn't Bronny's going to turn everything around because that's not what's going to happen. It was awesome to see a father-son duo, but I think over time, Bronny will get better. I don't think it'll be the best thing in the world, though, so don't bet on him to win the Rookie of the Year. I do expect the Lakers to have a good year, especially if we stay healthy. I think we can be about 3 seed, but I'm going to put us in 5 for now. 4th, I've got the Phoenix Suns. They've been knocking on the door for a while now. They're a massive threat this year. Their offense is so good, and if they can click together, stay healthy, it's a very, very scary team in Phoenix. Third seed, I've got the Dallas Mavericks. What a change this team has turned around in the last 2 years, almost being part of the NBA Finals. They were part of the NBA Final in 2023 season as well. I think they're going to be just as good this year. And look, they could be even higher. A lot of people have this team in their top three, and I do too. Second, I've got the Thunder. I think the Thunder are so good, and I think people are seriously underrating how good the Thunder are. SGA is going to have a massive year as well, and they, in my opinion, are going to be either the 1 or 2 seed. I think it comes down to about 2 games on my prediction, but yeah, doubt the Thunder, you're in peril. And the team I haven't mentioned, the Denver Nuggets, if they can stay healthy, which I think they can, this is a very dangerous team. Russell Westbrook is over at the Nuggets now, so that sort of takes that load off some of the players with someone who's got some experience as well. If he can get back to his best, Jokic is still one of the best players in the world. We saw him performing really, really well at the Olympics. And yeah, in the West, man, I've got the Nuggets finishing in the 1st seed. In the bottom of the East, I do have the Detroit Pistons. Look, I have them having a better season. I've got them getting 21 wins, so 4 more wins than last year. But I still think they're just not as good as the teams above them. 14, another one that's really going to struggle is the Brooklyn Nets. This team was competing for a championship just a few years ago with their own sort of big three. But now it's a fall from grace for this team, and they're in for a really poor year. 13th position, I've got the Washington Wizards. Not a bad team, but there are a lot of star players above them, and I feel like they need to have more to be better. Number 12, I've got the Atlanta Hawks. A bit of a drop-off for them. They lose DeJounte Murray as well for this season. So, yeah, I don't know what... The Hawks, you never know what to expect, but I've got them in the 12 seed. Kind of like the Kings, they could be higher, but I've got them a bit lower than most people would. 11, just missing out on the play, and I have the Hornets. I think the Hornets are going to be a little bit better than last season. They had a lot of injury throughout the year, but they're still going to be around that bottom of the conference. In spot 10, I do have the Magic. Now, the Magic should be actually a little higher than this, a 7, 8 seed, but based on the ladder prediction, I guess the draw doesn't sort of favour the Magic as they get into the late season. But look, I think they'll still be in the play-in. I've got the Magic in 10th spot. 9th, I've got the Raptors. I think the Raptors are going to be decent this year. There was part of me that thought they were going to be garbage, but I think they're really underrated this year. So, yeah, I've got the Raptors in 9. 8th position, I've got the Chicago Bulls. I can see this team finishing a little bit lower, especially if they don't sort of hit the trade period when it comes around, because I feel like they need to make some trades, but I have got the Bulls in 8th position. 7th, I've got the Pacers. A massive season from the Pacers last year, exceeding all expectations, but this year I think they finish in the 7th seed with some teams staying healthy above them. 6th, I've got the Miami Heat. They're always there and about, but just never close enough. And this year, I think they're going to get about the 6th seed, maybe the 4th seed if they're very lucky. 5th, I've got the Cavs, another team that have been up there in recent years. I don't know how they're going to go this year, but something tells me that they're going to go okay and wrap up the 5th seed. Now, the number 4 seed is a team that people are picking to be the number 1 or 2 seed. I don't think that's the case, especially late in the year, I think, is when they lose a couple of their games. They were blown out in their first game of the season, but that means nothing just yet. The New York Knicks look really, really good this season, and I've got them in the 4 seed for the East. 3rd, I've got the Milwaukee Bucks. They could be higher. They could do a lot of great things this year. How are Darvin Ham and Doc Rivers going to go coaching, though? It's going to be a really strange coaching combination, but they've got the players to do it now. Now, in number 2, quite underrated, like the Nuggets, I've got the 76ers. Are we forgetting how good this team can be in the regular season? I think they wrap up a 2 seed if they can stay healthy this season. Last year, again, a lot of injuries throughout the year. And in first place, no one's touching the Boston Celtics. They look really, really good, acquired well. They look healthy. So Celtics to mine, top of the East. Now, in the NBA Finals, I am going to take the Boston Celtics from the East and the Denver Nuggets from the West. So both number 1 seeds to go to the NBA Final. I am actually going to take the Denver Nuggets to win their 2nd championship in 5 years. I'm going to take Denver Nuggets to beat the Celtics in 7 games. I think injury is going to play a big part this season. And I feel like the Nuggets, if they are healthy, they are going to beat some teams to get to the NBA Final. As for my Rookie of the Year, I am going to go with Reed Sheppard. I know there is a couple more favourites than him. It's sort of an outside pick, but Reed Sheppard for mine, underrated going into this year and might just pick up Rookie of the Year. Most improved player, we saw some good things from him last year. I am going to go with Jonathan Kuminga to win most improved player. And my MVP, I mean, Luka has always sort of been here, around there, or injured when he's been favourite. Every season, he starts as favourite. I can't pick him. I can't trust the betting. My pick is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's going to lead that Thunder team to a 2 seed and have a fantastic year. That's it for this video. Let me know your NBA predictions in the comments. I can't wait to be at, yes, I'm going to be at the Lakers Nuggets, the Lakers Magic, and the Clippers versus the Sacramento Kings. Really looking forward to it. Let me know your predictions in the comments. Like this video, subscribe if you're new around here. Let me know if you want to see more NBA content. I'll see you guys later.